All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Big wave. Jack Ritter, this is your word for today. So he tunes in on Facebook and watches all of our lives, and this is his word for 2023. And yes, that is a trailer truck behind me. I am traveling in Georgia this week, so good to see everybody. So I'm out and about. The word for today from Jack is determination. That's his word for 2023, determination. So how determined are you right now? As I looked at it this morning, I'm like, what's my determination right now? Am I wavering in my determination for where I want to go, what I want to thrive, what I want to do? Or am I locked in? Am I locked and loaded? So that's kind of where I went this morning. That's what I looked at. So you look at determination, it's like the definition, determination is defined as a firm intent or a decision which has been reached. Have you ever had one of those non-negotiables? Like that's the way I look at determination. It's like when you make your mind up that you've just reached an area where it's a non-negotiable. You're going in that direction. You know? So I think about this. Think about how many of you have applied for jobs before in your life? And it's like, maybe you don't get the first one, maybe you don't get the second one, but you're determined, you're continuing to apply, continuing. First day the next one opens, you're submitting your resume, you're submitting your application, you're determined. I think about Abraham Lincoln. I say this a lot. I've said this a lot on this Coach's Corner. Look at the history of Abraham Lincoln. How many times he went after a public office? How many times he failed, but he continued. He was determined all the way up, leading up to being the president of the United States. The difference between impossible and possible lies in our determination. How determined are we? Because I believe that we've all got dreams. I believe if I asked Hill Blue Hill, what's your dreams? Like Betsy, what's your dreams? But in order to make the dreams become reality, maybe it's I want to have a huge I want to have a huge nest egg built up in my savings account. Well, in order to make that dream become a reality, it's going to take dedication, self-discipline, effort, but overall determination to go after it. I got to be determined. So here's the value if you've got that determination. Number one, it without a doubt, scientifically proven, it increases your chance of success. Determination helps you stay motivated. When you're determined, like you wake up with this burning desire to go, like feet on the floor, go after something. Enables you to persist in the face of difficulties. The minute we get determined to do something, the world's going to attack us. And a lot of time that world is like people we care about, people that love us, like some people would say crabs in a bucket. They try to pull us back down. Do you know what I'm talking about? But when you're determined, you persist even despite all that. It makes us more fearless. Because life's not smooth. We know that. Like that's been ordained. It's going to be a tough journey in this thing we call life. But if I'm determined, I just, here's where I look at that, what I just said. How many of you has started a diet, or you started exercising, or you've done something and you fell off the wagon? Valentine's Day. Oh my goodness, I ate chocolate. But let me tell you what a determined person does. It's not that a determined person doesn't fall. It's that a determined person gets back up on the horse quick, where a non-determined person falls and then falls again and again and again and again. And 3 weeks later, they've gained 10 pounds and they're wondering what in the world happened. Can you relate to that? I know I can. So being determined is not that we don't fall. It's that when we fall, we recognize the fall and we jump back up on the horse and we ride again in the direction we're headed. So that was my thoughts around determination. And the last thing I'm going to share that I personally, it happens to me, I see it happen to other people, is I'm going to use Jim Romine for an example. Jim gets determined to go in a direction. If we're not careful, I know this has happened to me, I get agitated with the people around me that's not determined in the direction I'm determined. Can anybody relate to that? Let me tell you, I think when you're determined, that you got to recognize that I'm the one determined. I'm the one that's going to go. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And everybody around me, I'm going to love them, appreciate them, but I got to run my own race. I'm on my own journey. And just because they're not, that determination is not there for them. I remember being in network marketing and I'm on the road and I'm going. And before I know it, because I'm determined, I might start getting bitter at the people around me that's not in that go framework. Does that make sense? So we got to be really careful when we're determined. Just run your race when you're determined. Go run it. And let the other people around you get inspired by your determination, but not feel threatened by it. I hope that makes sense. So, Andrew Rosser, I'll turn it to you. You just left the...
I ran away because you made me think of something. So great lesson. I'm actually reading this book right now, if you guys can see it. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And he doesn't necessarily use the word determined. I'm not very far in, as you might be able to see. So I'm like, not very far. But one of the things he talks about is being reactive versus proactive. And I love that by being determined, we're being proactive. We are taking, just like Coach just said, we are taking our future into our own hands, and we're not just waiting for other people. And it makes it easier when, let's pretend that, Anita and I are both on a fitness challenge, but nobody else around us is. So they're on like a chocolate challenge. Oh, there you go. I'm on that too, Anita. We can chat more about that later. My food scale is sitting next to me. But it can be difficult when the whole world is going in the opposite direction and we're having to run our own race. So love that. But I'm going to talk really briefly about how to be more determined. And the quote that I found is good old Zig Ziglar, and we all love Zig. I believe success is achieved by ordinary people, thank goodness, with extraordinary determination. And I am enthusiastically ordinary, but I'll tell you, I am also enthusiastically determined. And so I know that I can create something, but how can we be just a little bit more determined in our life when we want to sleep in, or we don't want to pick up the phone, or we want to bring on the chocolate challenge, or whatever it may be? How can we be more determined? First of all, be a part of something bigger than yourself. I think that's one of the values of our community here, is that it's not just Andrea. Like, I'm not going to miss the Coach's Corner unless I sleep in, go to the doctors, because I am determined because this is a beautiful community and it's not just about me, it's about all of us. And I know you guys are getting up early and you've carved out this time in your day. So it makes it more important and so much easier to be determined about it. Number 2 is to let your past inform your future, but nothing else. So what does that mean? Learn the lessons and let it go. Don't live in the past and the things that maybe have beat us up before. Just learn the lesson and move on. Number 3 is see your life and your future as being within your control. So that goes back to that reactive versus proactive. If I think that my future is in my hands through my hard work, through my diligence, through good choices, then it's a lot easier to be determined. And instead of thinking that, oh, I guess what is going to be, whatever happens is going to happen. Number 4, though, is to learn to ignore the things that you have no control over. And he talks about this in that book as well, where he talks about, we have a sphere of influence, each and every one of us. And then we have things outside that sphere of influence. So what can we do there? We can fix our attitude around it. So if there are things that we have no control over, but are going to be a part of our life, then fix our attitude around those things so that we can move forward. Yes, exactly. He even talks about the serenity prayer, Number 5 is to celebrate the success of others. How much fun and how inspiring is it to see the people around you doing great things? And when we celebrate them, it makes it easier for us to want to go fight and do those things as well. With that, on the kind of the flip side is never stoop, do your best, to complaining. I don't remember the author, Brent, for the no complaining rule, but it's a great, great book. I think I wore a rubber band on my wrist for quite some time. Every time you think of those negative, complaining, whiny thoughts, snap yourself and find yourself get more determined. Number 7 is don't focus on others, only try to impress yourself. When we are looking at the race everybody else is running, it can go 2 ways. It can inspire us, but it can also be, we look at Jackie out there that she's run 300 miles already in 2023. I haven't ran 3 miles in the last 23 years, maybe not quite that, but anyway, at least not this year. I can tell you that for sure. And I can say, oh my gosh, I should be doing what she's doing and I'm not good enough, and it can slow me down. Or I can say, hey, I'm only competing with that lady in the mirror and I'm really proud of what she's doing and how she is improving. With that, constantly revisit your long-term goals. So have them, set those goals and keep your eyes on them. Next is count your blessings. We talk about gratitude every day. When we really take a minute to look around and see how blessed we are, it's so much easier to keep going. And then lastly, if we want to be really determined and we've got a goal in mind, announce it to the world. Like right now, we're all cheering on Ashley Paulson. We're like, go get it, go get it, go get it. We're so proud of you. Go, go, go. And if she has a day where she's feeling weak, when that cheat meal is calling, or she wants to sleep in and skip that second workout or whatever it may be, there's a good chance she's going to continue to be determined, because she's going to get back on here tomorrow. We're going to be cheering her on and she doesn't want to have to do the walk of shame, right? So Ashley, we're going to love you either way. We're so proud of you. But it really helps us stay determined when the whole world knows what we're trying to do. So thank you for this one, Coach. You travel safe out there. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Love you guys. Grateful for you. Great lesson this morning. Yeah. Thanks, Andrea, for that. Jack, appreciate the word for the year for you, buddy. I hope it serves you well. Love you guys. Grateful for you. See you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.